everyone, I'm Jason with MMOHuts.com, and this is part 2 of my attempt to get all of our stuff from PAX South done again. And today we are talking with Jesse Houston from Phoenix Labs. If you would like to tell the audience a little bit about what you do.
Yeah, you bet. So I'm the executive producer and creative director here at Phoenix Labs. I make a good pot of coffee, and I do some scheduling. I'm responsible though for the overall vision and execution of the game.
And I have to say, I love Dauntless. It is fantastic. It was the game we're most excited for in 2017. And we got a chance to really sit down and play it at PAX South, me and Charles and our video guy who went with us, one of my best friends. I played with the gun hammer, and I did not know that you could reload it, so I felt very, very foolish. So in the interview, I was like, yeah, I would love to be able to shoot more than like 6 bullets. And he was like, yeah, you just press Q. Ugh, damn it.
We're also still working on UI.
Yeah.
As you know, like the stuff that we showed we're trying to show pretty early. Like we have the kind of show don't tell mentality, and
yeah, definitely.
We really want to have folks feel the game without me just doing the normal kind of PRE like, oh, it's going to be amazing. It's like no, like give me your feedback. Let me, I want you to help build amazing with us, kind of thing.
Oh yeah, and I really appreciated that. Like we didn't have to sit through like a 30-minute tutorial. It's just here's the game. Pick your character, get out there and do it. Just do the thing.
Totally.
And one of the big things for me is while I'm not a huge Monster Hunter person, like I'm not great at it, I haven't played all of them, but I have played some of them, and I have played D&D for going on 20 years now, I think. Yeah, going on 20 years, maybe a little longer. And I like the feel of fighting a giant, epic, just mean monster with this really fantasy look. I love that. But the downside is that's not a thing you get on PC. If you want that, you have to go play Monster Hunter.
Totally. And I think there are other games that have kind of captured a similar feeling in a different format though. Like if you think back to like remember that first Onyxia kill that you got, like 40 folks, yeah. It was like that moment of everybody coming together. I mean that from a fantasy perspective,
it does kind of feel like that. Yeah,
that's what we're really trying to accomplish. I think when I look to the hunting action genre as a format, I think one of the areas that I'm most excited by is actually bringing in a larger, more epic feeling than the other games that I've had. So like, and I don't mean that in physical size, but like, when you're fighting Pangar, so the big roly guy that has a bunch of ice on him. So when you're fighting Pangar, right? Like, I mean, he's physically large, but like, there's an emotional resonance that you get when he like turns into ice and he rolls at you for the first time, and like the giant ice walls come up and all of a sudden you're trapped, and like that emotional feeling is something that we really want to bring to the genre because it's just not there otherwise. And like I think there's such a great opportunity for PC players to really feel excited by a boss encounter again.
Oh yeah, and but first you have the task of finding the monster. Because in some hunting games, like, it's there. You can see it, it's there. No, you've got to go track it down and shoot flares. And it's all about communication and teamwork and having a strategy. I can only imagine there's lots of different ways to approach any monster fight, any behemoth fight. And it's all about how, like, friends, or even not friends, like strangers who start working together become friends, can tackle these encounters. And I think that's really what's wonderful about it.
Cool. Thanks, man. Yeah, you're nailing it right in the head. Like, I think that moment when you come to that realization that working together, strategizing, and the first person to come upon the behemoth and like when the flare comes up and everybody converges, like it feels great,
It does.
So I'm really looking forward to also showing a lot more, like in the future, because in the combat demo that we showed at PAX, and we stripped out a lot of the kind of the hunt elements, and there's even more there, and I'm looking really forward to showing that in the future.
All right, that sounds great. And we had 4 different weapon types at PAX, and I believe at PAX we were told there were possibility of going up to 6, I believe.
Yeah, so weapons in so we actually only had 3. So we had the sword, we had 2.
Oh right, we did. That's right.
Sword.
Yeah.
You're right. Then we had the impact hammer and then the axe. And then we've announced a 4th one that we showed in the trailer, the chain blades, but we're still on making that like feel perfect. It's also a much more advanced weapon, and we wanted the first crack that folks got to take at the game to be ones that they could kind of wrap their brain around without a bunch of tutorialization.
Oh, I'm excited for the chain blades, though. That's gonna be sick.
I mean, oh man, it's super cool. Like, just wait. Like, this is where like it gets a little bit more fantastic. Like the ones that we currently have are still pretty grounded and like very physical, whereas chain blades is starting to get a lot more etheric and really starts to champion in some more of the kind of the more fantastical elements of the IP. And then we're gonna have this year we'll have 2 more. But because it's a free-to-play game that we're going to continue to operate for years and years, we plan on having many more weapons.
Okay.
Beyond that, like there's a ton of design space. We've got some great ideas for a bunch of other ones, and I'm really looking for the next 3 that we're going to show, like Chain Blades and beyond. I'm super excited for, and I'm like, I'm still excited even for like Weapon 9 that we've got in the docket. So.
I'm looking forward to a support weapon personally, because that's usually my role on the team is, I know you really don't have tanks in this game. You have to just not get hit by stuff. That's very important. Don't get hit by the stuff. But some measure of, medic or support character.
Totally.
I think that would be really, really fun in this game, too, while we're on the subject of weapons.
Totally agree with you. That moment of the feeling that you get when you did something that makes somebody else, that much better, I think is so critical to the feeling of a badass for a support. I think there's some really cool, inspirational stuff around, how do I want to describe it? Like a lot of inspiration around, not even just hey, I'm a heal bot, but also through my actions, my team is that much better, and I'm still aggressive.
Agreed, absolutely.
One thing we don't want to do is create the white mage.
Yeah, right? You don't want just to heal.
I have the dude sitting in the back who's just kind of picking his nose, mashing one.
No, you want them to be in the fight.
Yeah, exactly. Yet still feel very much like they're the glue that binds.
Yeah. Agreed. As we talked about, away from weapons, we also talked about a couple of ideas I had, and one of the things I thought would be really interesting is the goal of this game is strategy and planning and effective teamwork. But one of the ideas I kind of had that I would like to see is to take all of that away from the player and give them a random encounter. These, they doesn't tell you what the behemoth you're going to fight is. And it just pick some gear, pick a comp, or even don't let them pick the comp. Completely randomize it for veteran players or something. How good are you at this game? How good are you really at making a plan and making something work?
Cool. Yeah, there's a lot of really interesting ideas in there. I think the coolest part of what I love that idea of being able to say, I am this good compared to you, and the game really promoting that kind of co-opetition of my team is the best team in the game, and having that level playing field where it's not just because I have the best gear, but because I'm actually the best.
Yes, I'm the best at doing the job.
Totally.
Okay, 1 or 2 more quick things. Is there a projected date or anything? 'Cause I know the actual release is still a ways away.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully this year. I'm really excited to get my hands on it. But
You will definitely get your hands on it this year.
Is there a projected date for a beta?
Yeah, so we're going to have an open beta in kind of the early fall timeframe.
Okay.
We're not giving specific dates, if only because I want to. When I give you a date, I'm going to hit it, and projecting 6+ months away is dangerous.
Oh yeah,
right?
Definitely.
And again, coming back to that idea of like show don't tell. When we show stuff, we want to make sure that, and when we say stuff, we want to make sure that we're following up very immediately. We are absolutely committed to this year. That's an easy one. And we'll have a bunch of closed stuff that we'll be talking about in the next couple of months as well, where there'll be kind of like a closed kind of beta time while we're ramping up and getting ready, and then the open beta will be in the fall, where everybody will have access.
Fantastic. And where can people go to find more about Dreadnoughts? Colton, edit that out, please, Colton.
You can go to the Jagex website for Dreadnoughts.
Yeah, they're super cool guys. I talked to them just like
really dope.
2 days ago. I'm still juggling my game names.
All good, totally. So yeah, so you can find more about Dauntless playdauntless.com. Also follow us on Twitter at Play Dauntless. Basically, Play Dauntless is kind of the way to find us.
And I would also like to take this time again, since we did it off camera, to promote the Make Ragachek an NPC fund. Colton, if you could just put that super cool picture that the artist Katie, was it Katie?
It was Katie, yes. Katie.
She's so talented. She's so
phenomenal.
talented.
Yep.
If you could just put that picture up and maybe put some dramatic music over it for me, Colton, I would appreciate it. Don't make me look dumb. All right. Cool. I'm so glad you could take the time out of your day to chat with us here at MMOHuts.
It was my pleasure. Thank you for taking the time to talk with me as well.
Oh, no, absolutely no problem. I've been Jason. He has been Jesse Houston with Phoenix Labs. And make sure you stay tuned to MMOHuts.com for all the latest gaming news and reviews and so much more.